Welcome back to Best Product Reviews. Looking for a solid gaming monitor but don't want to break the bank? You're in the right place. Today, we're counting down the top 5 best gaming monitors under $300 in 2026. The gaming monitor market has gotten incredibly competitive, and you'd be amazed at what you can get for under $300 these days. We're talking high refresh rates, sharp resolutions, and features that used to be reserved for premium displays. Whether you're a competitive FPS player, a casual gamer, or someone building their first setup, we've got options that'll blow your mind. We've done all the testing and research to help you make the smartest choice for your hard-earned money. Let's dive in and find your perfect gaming monitor.
At number 5, we have the LG 24GS65F-B. If you're on a really tight budget and need something cheap that still gets the job done, this is where you should start. This is a 24-inch IPS monitor with a 1080p resolution, which is full HD. Now, 1080p might not sound super impressive in 2026, but on a 24-inch screen, the pixel density is actually quite decent, and you'll get sharp enough visuals for gaming. One of the key features here is the 180Hz refresh rate, which is actually pretty respectable for an entry-level monitor. That's higher than the standard 144Hz you see on many budget displays, so gameplay will feel smoother than you might expect at this price point. However, there are some trade-offs you need to be aware of. The response time is slower compared to higher-end monitors, which means you'll see more blur behind fast-moving objects. It also doesn't have a backlight strobing feature to help improve motion appearance, but honestly, that's the kind of feature you shouldn't expect at this price. Despite these limitations, the response time remains fairly consistent across its refresh rate range, which is good news for gaming performance. Input lag is low, giving you that responsive feel where your actions translate quickly on screen. The monitor supports most common VRR formats to reduce screen tearing, which is essential for smooth gaming. One important limitation to note is that it doesn't support VRR with the PlayStation 5, which is a common issue with entry-level monitors. If you're primarily a PC gamer, that won't be a problem. For console gamers, you might want to look at slightly higher options on this list. The IPS panel delivers decent colors and good viewing angles, which is nice to have. Overall, the LG 24GS65F-B is a solid pick if you need a PC gaming monitor on an extremely tight budget. It won't blow you away, but it covers the basics well and gets you into high refresh rate gaming without spending a fortune. For updated pricing and more details, check out the links in the description.
Next up is the ViewSonic XG2431. This is another 24-inch monitor, but it's a significant step up in gaming performance. Like the LG, it has a 1080p resolution, so images aren't as detailed as you'd get with a 1440p or 4K display. However, what it lacks in resolution, it makes up for in raw speed and motion clarity. The standout feature here is its 240Hz refresh rate, which is double what you get on most budget monitors. If you play fast-paced competitive games like first-person shooters, racing games, or esports titles, that ultra-high refresh rate makes a massive difference. Gameplay feels incredibly smooth when you're hitting high frame rates, and you'll have a genuine competitive advantage. But here's where things get really interesting. This monitor has a unique backlight strobing feature that you can actually customize to your liking. This feature reduces persistence blur, making motion even sharper. What's cool is that you can adjust the flicker of the strobing, which is a rare touch for an entry-level monitor, and makes it easy to fine-tune motion clarity to your personal preference. Now, keep in mind that the backlight strobing feature doesn't work at the same time as VRR. You'll need to choose between strobing for maximum motion clarity or VRR for tear-free gaming. Fortunately, the monitor supports both FreeSync and G-Sync compatibility, so when you're not using the strobing feature, you still get adaptive sync to eliminate screen tearing. Response time is fast, resulting in much better motion handling than the Dell Alienware that we'll talk about next. There's minimal blur behind fast-moving objects, which is exactly what competitive gamers need. If you want even more speed, there's the Dell Alienware AW2524H, which has a similar versatile backlight strobing feature and an insane 500Hz refresh rate. However, it usually costs more than the ViewSonic and can be harder to find at times. For most gamers, the ViewSonic XG2431 hits the sweet spot of speed and value in the 24-inch category. If you prefer smaller displays and prioritize motion clarity and competitive performance, this is an excellent choice. For updated pricing and more details, check out the links in the description.
Keeping it going with the Dell Alienware AW3225DM. Now, if you find 27-inch screens too small and you want something bigger for a more immersive gaming experience, Dell has you covered. This is a 32-inch VA panel monitor, which gives you a much larger screen to work with. The resolution is 2560 by 1440, same as many 27-inch monitors, but because of the larger 32-inch size and lower pixel density, images and text aren't quite as sharp. That's the trade-off you make when you go bigger at the same resolution. Budget 32-inch monitors are generally not as good as smaller displays in terms of overall quality, but they do offer that immersive gaming feel that some gamers really love. The refresh rate here is 180 Hz, which is solid and provides smooth gameplay. It supports both FreeSync and G-Sync compatibility, so you're covered regardless of whether you have an AMD or NVIDIA graphics card. Input lag is low, so the monitor feels responsive when you're gaming. However, there are some significant downsides to be aware of. Despite having a high native contrast ratio, which is typical for VA panels, the picture quality is actually worse than the AOC at number 1. The main culprit is a terrible local dimming feature that results in noticeable haloing around bright objects in HDR. This can be pretty distracting in dark scenes with bright highlights. Additionally, motion handling isn't great. There's smearing behind fast-moving objects, which is a common issue with VA panels. If you play a lot of fast-paced games, this might bother you. For slower-paced games or single-player titles where motion clarity isn't as critical, it's less of an issue. The 1500R curve adds some immersion, wrapping around your field of vision a bit. If you value screen size over everything else and want that big, immersive display for under $300, the Dell Alienware AW3225DM delivers. Just be aware that you're sacrificing some image quality and motion performance compared to smaller, sharper monitors. For updated pricing and more details, check out the links in the description.
The runner-up is the ASUS TUF Gaming VG27AQ1A. This is where we hit the sweet spot for a lot of gamers. The ASUS TUF Gaming VG27AQ1A is a 27-inch IPS monitor with a native 1440p resolution of 2560 by 1440. This combination is widely considered the perfect balance between sharpness and gaming performance in 2026. At 27 inches, the pixel density is excellent, giving you crisp visuals and detailed images without making text too small to read comfortably. The 1440p resolution is also much easier on your graphics card compared to 4K, while still looking significantly sharper than 1080p. The native refresh rate is 140 Hz, but you can overclock it to 170 Hz, giving you that extra smoothness for competitive gaming. This ultra-fast refresh rate eliminates lag and motion blur, providing a real advantage in first-person shooters, racing games, real-time strategy titles, and sports games. The IPS panel is a huge advantage here. IPS technology delivers superior color accuracy and wide 178-degree viewing angles, which means minimal distortion and color shift even when viewing from extreme positions. Color coverage is impressive, with 130% sRGB and 95% DCI-P3, providing vivid, distinct color gradations that make games look fantastic. The monitor features ASUS Extreme Low Motion Blur technology, which achieves a 1 millisecond MPRT response time. This eliminates smearing and motion blur, making objects in motion look sharper and gameplay feel more fluid and responsive. It supports both G-Sync compatible and FreeSync, delivering a seamless, tear-free gaming experience with VRR enabled by default. This means smooth gaming whether you have an NVIDIA or AMD graphics card. The monitor also has HDR10 support with Display HDR 400 certification. The backlight reaches 400 nits peak brightness, which helps with HDR content, though it still can't provide true cinematic HDR visuals due to the lack of local dimming. Input lag sits below 4 milliseconds at 170 Hz, which is tournament-level responsiveness. You won't experience any delays or desynced instances during intense gaming sessions. Build quality is solid, as you'd expect from ASUS. The ergonomically designed stand provides tilt and swivel adjustments, so you can easily find your ideal viewing position. The display is also VESA compatible for wall mounting if you prefer. Connectivity is robust with DisplayPort 1.2 and 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, plus a 3.5mm audio jack for connecting speakers or headphones. For console gamers, it supports Full HD at 120 Hz and 1440p at 120 Hz VRR output on Xbox Series X and S. The ASUS TUF Gaming VG27AQ1A delivers tangible value for its price. The combination of excellent color quality from the IPS panel, 170 Hz speed, 1440p sharpness, and strong motion handling makes it a fantastic all-around option. If you're upgrading to 1440p gaming or building a new setup, this monitor hits all the right notes without breaking your budget. For updated pricing and more details, check out the links in the description.
And the best one is the AOC Q27G3XMN. This is hands down the best gaming monitor you can buy for under $300 in 2026, and it's not even close. The AOC Q27G3XMN is a unique monitor that offers more features and better performance than any similarly priced display on the market. Let's start with what makes this monitor so special: Mini LED local dimming. This is a technology that's usually reserved for monitors that cost significantly more. Mini LED backlighting allows the monitor to control brightness in specific zones across the screen, which dramatically improves picture quality. The monitor already has an excellent native contrast ratio because it uses a VA panel, but the Mini LED local dimming takes it to another level by further deepening blacks. This makes it absolutely fantastic for gaming in dark rooms, where you'll get incredibly deep, inky blacks that rival much more expensive displays. In HDR content, the monitor displays bright highlights that genuinely pop against dark backgrounds. Colors are vivid and punchy, scoring an impressive 8.0 for HDR picture quality, which is outstanding at this price point. The local dimming works in both SDR and HDR modes, which is actually an advantage over some pricier monitors that limit local dimming to HDR only. The screen size is 27 inches with a 2560 by 1440 resolution, giving you that perfect balance of screen real estate and sharpness. The 1500R curve adds immersion without being too aggressive or causing distortion. For gaming performance, this monitor delivers. The refresh rate is 180 Hz, which provides smooth, fluid gameplay. It supports AMD FreeSync VRR and also has G-Sync compatibility to reduce screen tearing, so you're covered regardless of your graphics card brand. Response time is quick overall, though there is some smearing with fast-moving objects, which is typical for VA panels. It's not deal-breaking for most gamers, but it's something to be aware of if you're extremely sensitive to motion blur. The monitor is even great for console gaming, as it supports most common signals. The main limitation is that it doesn't have HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, so it can't take full advantage of next-gen consoles for 4K at 120 Hz gaming. But that's the case with most budget gaming monitors, and at 1440p, it works beautifully with consoles. Brightness scores 8.3 out of 10, which is excellent for a monitor at this price point. You'll have no issues using this in well-lit rooms. If you can't find this model available in your region, there's a newer sibling called the AOC Q27G40XMN, which is only sold in the United States. It performs very similarly and has a few advantages like better local dimming with more zones, though it does have worse ergonomics and a slightly slower response time. The AOC Q27G3XMN is an absolute steal for the price. You're getting premium features like Mini LED local dimming, excellent HDR performance, vivid colors, and solid gaming specs, all for under $300. For the best overall value and performance in this price category, this is the monitor to beat. For updated pricing and more details, check out the links in the description.
Thanks for watching. That's our top 5 best gaming monitors under $300 for 2026. From budget-friendly 1080p options to feature-packed 1440p powerhouses with Mini LED backlighting, there's truly something for every gamer and every budget in this price range. The gaming monitor market has become incredibly competitive, and manufacturers are packing in features that used to cost twice as much. It's a great time to be a gamer on a budget. If this video helped you decide on your next gaming monitor, please hit that like button and subscribe to Best Product Reviews for more tech reviews and buying guides. Got questions about any of these monitors? Drop them in the comments below and we'll be happy to help. And remember, all the links to these monitors with the latest pricing are in the description. Thanks again for watching, and may your frame rates be high and your temperatures low.